Have you ever found yourself sitting at home, scrolling through old photos, and wondering where the time went? Maybe you're retired now, the kids are grown, and life has settled into a comfortable routine. But deep down, there's this little voice whispering, what if there's more? What if I could still surprise myself, and maybe even my partner, with something new and exciting? Well, what if I told you that the key to reigniting that spark, not just in your life but in your love life, might be as simple as packing a suitcase and heading out on a solo adventure? Yes, solo travel after 65. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Traveling alone at my age? Isn't that for young backpackers or retirees with unlimited budgets? But here's the truth. Solo travel isn't just about seeing new places. It's about rediscovering yourself, building confidence, and bringing that renewed energy back into your relationship. In this video, we're going to explore why solo travel after 65 might just save your love life, and I'll share 3 confidence-boosting adventures to get you started. These aren't just trips. They're experiences that can help you reconnect with who you are, what you love, and why your partner fell for you in the first place. Let's start with the first adventure, a weekend in a nearby town you've never explored. Now, I know what you're thinking. A weekend away? That doesn't sound like much of an adventure. But here's the thing. It's not about how far you go or how exotic the destination is. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone, even just a little. Think about it. When was the last time you did something entirely on your own? Not running errands or meeting friends, but truly exploring something new just for you? A weekend in a nearby town gives you the chance to do just that. It's close enough to feel manageable, but different enough to feel exciting. Here's how to make the most of it. First, choose a town or city within a few hours' drive or train ride. Maybe it's a place you've always driven past but never stopped to explore. Then, book a cozy bed and breakfast or a charming little inn. The key is to create an environment that feels welcoming and safe, but also a little special. Once you're there, let yourself wander. Visit a local museum, stroll through a park, or pop into a cafe and strike up a conversation with the person behind the counter. The goal isn't to fill every moment with activity, it's to give yourself the freedom to follow your curiosity. And here's the magic of this adventure. When you return home, you'll bring back stories. Stories about the quirky little bookstore you found, the delicious pastry you tried, or the kind stranger who gave you directions. Those stories become part of you, and when you share them with your partner, they become part of your relationship too. It's a way of saying, I'm still growing, still exploring, and I want to share that with you. Now let's move on to the second adventure, a themed retreat or workshop. This one is for those of you who've always wanted to try something new, but never quite found the time. Maybe it's painting, photography, cooking, or even yoga. Whatever it is, there's likely a retreat or workshop out there that's perfect for you. The beauty of a themed retreat is that it gives you a focus. You're not just traveling for the sake of traveling. You're traveling to learn, to grow, to connect with others who share your interests. And that sense of purpose can be incredibly empowering. For example, imagine spending a weekend at a cooking retreat, learning to make pasta from scratch in a rustic Italian villa, or attending a photography workshop in a picturesque coastal town, where every sunset feels like a masterpiece waiting to be captured. These experiences aren't just about the skills you'll learn, they're about the confidence you'll gain. And here's the best part. When you return home, you'll have something tangible to share with your partner. Maybe it's a new recipe you can cook together, or a photo you took that captures a moment of beauty. These little gifts become threads that weave your solo adventure back into the fabric of your relationship. Now let's talk about how to take these experiences even further. Because once you've dipped your toes into solo travel, you might find that you're ready for something a little bigger, a little bolder. And that's where the next adventure comes in. So, you've dipped your toes into solo travel with a weekend getaway, and maybe even tried a themed retreat or workshop. That's wonderful. But now, let's take it a step further. Because here's the thing. Solo travel isn't just about exploring new places, it's about exploring new sides of yourself. And to do that, we're going to talk about the third adventure, a journey to a place that's always called to you. This is the big one, the adventure that's been sitting in the back of your mind, whispering to you for years. Maybe it's a trip to the rolling hills of Tuscany, where you've always dreamed of sipping wine and watching the sunset. Or maybe it's a visit to a bustling city like Paris or New York, where you can lose yourself in the energy of the streets. Whatever it is, this is the trip that feels a little daring, a little outside your comfort zone, and that's exactly why it's worth doing. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds amazing, but isn't it too much? Too expensive, too complicated, too risky. And I get it. Traveling to a new place, especially on your own, can feel intimidating. But here's the thing, you don't have to do it all at once. Start by researching your dream destination. Look into flights, accommodations, and activities that interest you. Break it down into manageable steps, and give yourself permission to take your time. Once you're there, let yourself be guided by curiosity. Maybe you spend your days wandering through museums, or maybe you prefer to sit in a cafe and watch the world go by. The beauty of solo travel is that you get to decide. There's no schedule to keep, no one else's preferences to consider, just you and the adventure you've created for yourself. And here's the magic of this kind of journey. When you return home, you'll bring back more than just souvenirs. You'll bring back a renewed sense of confidence, a deeper understanding of who you are, and a treasure trove of stories to share with your partner. Those stories become part of your shared history, a reminder that even after all these years, there's still so much to discover, both in the world and in each other. Now let's talk about how to make these adventures even more meaningful. Because solo travel isn't just about the places you go, it's about the mindset you bring with you. And that brings us to the fourth tip: embrace the unknown. One of the most powerful things about solo travel is that it forces you to step into the unknown. Whether it's navigating a new city, trying a new food, or striking up a conversation with a stranger, these moments of uncertainty are where growth happens. So, how do you embrace the unknown? Start by letting go of the need to control every detail. Yes, it's good to have a plan, but leave room for spontaneity. Maybe you stumble upon a local festival or a hidden gem of a restaurant that wasn't in your guidebook. Those unplanned moments often become the most memorable. And here's the key: trust yourself. You've lived a long life, and you've navigated plenty of challenges along the way. Solo travel is just another opportunity to remind yourself how capable you are. When you embrace the unknown, you're not just exploring the world, you're rediscovering your own resilience and resourcefulness. Now, let's move on to the fifth tip: reflect and reconnect. Solo travel isn't just about the time you spend away, it's also about what you bring back with you. And one of the most valuable things you can bring back is a fresh perspective. Take some time during your trip to reflect on your experiences. Maybe you keep a journal, or maybe you simply sit quietly each evening and think about the day. What did you learn about yourself? What surprised you? What made you feel alive? And when you return home, take the time to reconnect with your partner. Share your stories, your photos, your newfound sense of confidence. Let them see the person you've become through this experience. Because when you bring that energy back into your relationship, it's like giving your love life a breath of fresh air. Now, let's talk about how to keep the momentum going. Because once you've experienced the joy of solo travel, you might find that you're ready for even more adventures. And that's where the next tip comes in. By now, you've explored nearby towns, immersed yourself in themed retreats, ventured to a dream destination, embraced the unknown, and taken time to reflect and reconnect. You've already taken incredible steps toward rediscovering yourself and bringing that renewed energy back into your relationship. But let's not stop there, because there's one more tip that can truly elevate your solo travel journey. Make it a regular practice. Solo travel doesn't have to be a once-in-a-lifetime event. In fact, the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Think of it as a regular check-in with yourself, a way to recharge and reconnect with your sense of adventure. Whether it's a weekend getaway, every few months, or an annual trip to a new destination, making solo travel a regular part of your life ensures that you're always growing, always exploring, and always bringing something new to your relationship. And here's the best part: it doesn't have to be extravagant. Even a day trip to a nearby town or a quiet afternoon in a local park can be a mini adventure. The key is to keep that spirit of curiosity and discovery alive. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered. We've talked about starting with a weekend getaway, diving into themed retreats, venturing to a dream destination, embracing the unknown, reflecting and reconnecting, and making solo travel a regular practice. These tips aren't just about travel, they're about rediscovering yourself, building confidence, and bringing that renewed energy back into your love life. And here's the thing, it's never too late to start. Whether you're 65, 75, or 85, the world is still full of possibilities. Solo travel is just one way to remind yourself and your partner that life is an adventure and there's always more to explore. So what are you waiting for? Start planning your next solo adventure today. Whether it's a weekend in a nearby town, a retreat that sparks your passion, or a journey to a place that's always called to you, take that first step. Because when you invest in yourself, you're also investing in your relationship. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried solo travel? Do you have a favorite destination or a story to share? Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear about your adventures. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips on living your best life at any age. Because life is too short not to explore, not to grow, and not to love with all your heart. Here's to solo adventures, renewed confidence, and a love life that's as vibrant as you are. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.